101.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, boy, I gotta say, in the last few this summer, let's just say this summer, we have had some really huge, unprecedented news. And it happened yesterday. You just kind of felt like it was brewing out there. We have not seen any destruction like we saw in Rome. And I'm saying there are some stories up on our website. Is there more than mine, Andrew? That I know I put up a story with a huge photo gallery.
Yeah, there are several
You'll see
stories.
them on Facebook as well. There are a lot of stories. You'll see photos. I put up a story. This is Cap Media, and that's Dave and Dana Olney.
Yeah.
And then somebody else sent me photos from the ground in Rome that are spectacular as well. Remember, the word spectacular is not a positive word necessarily. It's just something way out of the norm, and that is what we see in Rome right now. This has been just and more pictures. Ross Bartella just saw a huge tree went over in his front yard, damage to the home. But here's what we can walk away with. In Canastota, it has been confirmed that one person has died in the storm. Other than that death, there are no deaths reported,
Right.
Or serious injury, and I don't know how.
I mean, when you look at, again, I go in the last couple of years. I've gone to Rome very frequently for reasons for my business and stuff, and it's been so much progress and so much work has been done to it, and it really looks great. And you look through some of these photos on our website and things that you would see every day in Rome that you're familiar with, iconic landmarks as far as the city goes.
The B-52 bomber was just moved, swept. It's a wonder it wasn't worse. But the bomber was swept right off its platform.
Yeah. Or the mural on the building of Paul Revere. Just crumbled. All the brick just laying there on the parking lot next to the building. So
there was also damage elsewhere in Ilion. There's for two nights in a row they've had severe damage down there, and the old former Duofold building. It seems like the middle structure just was blown right over, and it does make you wonder about the quality of. What quality still remains of that very old structure. Well,
especially they were working to find a developer to repurpose that building, and now that will be a little bit more of a challenge. But Mayor John Stevens...
My thoughts are that anybody that ends up getting that would have torn everything down and started over anyway. I can't imagine they wouldn't have. But nonetheless, we don't know that. And you spoke with Mayor Stevens in Ilion. They've had 2 days of this. Trees down on streets. In the area where I used to live in Ilion, there were trees down yesterday, and they were struggling to get the street back open. And then this storm went from Rome, and it continued plowing through. How far it stayed on the ground, I don't know, but it was headed towards Trenton. It was just unbelievable. It really was.
From where
Ross Bartell, by the way, the photos of his home, luckily no one was injured.
Again, nowhere near as bad as Rome or Ilion, but I was in Hinckley yesterday at the time of the storm, and the location I was at, the rain was just pouring. Just the hardest rain I've seen in quite some time, with severe lightning, and even that on a minor scale as far as Rome, compared to Rome and other places. There was trees down everywhere.
You want to tell your story? Are you in need of help? I want to ask this question. This is, there's still people without power. If you're in a situation where you have a tree down, you have a problem in your home, you have not been able to get someone to assist you, please call us, 315-736-0186. Let me go to Jeff, who is now, I lost Jeff. Our phone number, 315-736-0186. But I think it's important if whether, and it doesn't mean you have to be an elderly person. Maybe you are elderly and you just don't know how to move forward here, call us. We will work to get you the services that you need or find somebody to get out there and assist you. And the other thing comes a neighborhood responsibility, right? If you get that opportunity, check on your neighbor. If you have an elderly neighbor, check on your neighbor and make sure everybody's okay. I realize I'm saying this the next morning. My guess is you've already done that. So it is just the way we are here. But it was amazing yesterday when I saw that KTV went back to storm programming, and then you looked on the radar map how intense the storm was. And it was really, it was long, and it was really going to affect the entire region when it comes to severe thunderstorms. And that wind just came in, and it was destructive. And then the touchdown of a tornado. We will speak with Jill Reel from WKTV, the meteorologist there. She, along with Bill Cardis, were both on covering everything last night. A lot of people ended up losing power during that moment.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult to get your cable, although they now have an app which certainly assists. Ryan Schmelz will be on talking about the latest on Secret Service. Do you know that they spent about 30 minutes, local police spent about 30 minutes trying to get in touch with the Secret Service to inform them that the person that was climbing the roof was a gunman? How in the world does that happen? I mean, that is mind-blowing. As Andrew said, County Executive Anthony Pacini on the tornado. We'll speak with Rob Machel. Also, Senator Joe Griffo later on. Ryan Nobles on the latest, the convention. Of course, the Trump assassination attempt. Joe Habaika in this morning. We'll speak with Joe about the Utica School District. So which has a new superintendent. So we have a loaded baked potato today with little pieces of bacon. I'm craving that, to be honest with you. All right, so we'll get to all of that this morning. But weather is going to be the top story.
Yeah, and I do want to say that we did have a little fun with the WKTV meteorologists last week.
Well, you were really bothered by it. I said that it is
not really bothered, but it's
and there were people that were like, I can't believe I couldn't watch Wheel, and but you know what, the reality of all of this is, while you may not be getting trees blown down in your neighborhood, there are neighborhoods in our listening area that were getting that. So I'm assuming that's what you kind of want to say.
Well, and a couple other things. There was, you had mentioned this before we started the program this morning, is, you just really never see and have never seen in this area locally something like what happened in Rome and Canastota in the Oneida area, and Ilion even. I mean, severe thunderstorms happen in the summer, and they can be loud, and they can be, dumping a lot of rain and maybe lead to flooding. But something like we saw in Rome yesterday, it just doesn't happen here every day. So,
it doesn't happen here. I mean, we are just not accustomed to dealing with, and the craziness of all of it is it was 2 days in a row where there were tornadoes that were touching down, not just here, but in all of upstate New York. This may be the most active tornado 48-hour period that we've ever seen. I don't ever remember. We will get a tornado every once in a while. A lot of times it'll hit in a rural area. It'll be, they say winds were, gusting over, wind speeds were over 70 miles an hour. And it can cause damage. It can cause death. But they're rare. Maybe 1 year, and then we'll go 2 or 3 years without having anything. Yet we think there was a tornado, but we're not sure. That type of thing. There's no question about it. We've had 2 days of tornado touchdowns. And never
2 weeks, 3 in 2 weeks, and consider the forest port one.
That's exactly right. And never can I remember a city being hit the way it was hit. We had something at the state fair several years ago. So it's not like it doesn't happen. I've just never seen the frequency. And certainly Rome has never seen anything like this.
No, but, I'm confident that local leadership and the people that are in those positions will work hard to recoup and rebuild, and hopefully they get all the assistance from the state that is needed. So,
well, we do know that the city of Rome has been declared a state of emergency. The entire county of Oneida has been declared a state of emergency. There are several areas where damage has been received. I don't know what it was like in your backyard, at your home, at your workplace when this storm was blowing through, but it was something. Joe Malachi, still without power in my house and in my office. Father Sean O'Brien this morning. Unfortunately, the Presbyterian Church was also destroyed. The news is making a big deal out of St. Mary's, but St. Mary's has not been a church for a long time. It's just been an empty building. It's that the Presbyterian Church, however, suffered the most because that church has been an active church since it was built in the 1820s. And I do know, in speaking with Father Sean yesterday, he said that he has offered up their church to the Presbyterian Church if they would like to do their services at Father Sean's Catholic Church on Sunday morning. The door is open for that. That's people working together. It's quite impressive, right? What else do I have? I have a few more in here. Mike this morning says it's pretty well documented, for whatever reason, don't want to stir up the climate change skeptics, that the tornado alley has moved from where it traditionally was to a more active scene here. And it does seem that for whatever is causing global warming, this is playing a role. I don't want to start a fight today. Ann showing pictures here this morning. Ann in Rome. First of all, Ann, thank you for the wonderful card and the medallion. So I appreciate that so much. Ann says, my neighbor's carport in my backyard, still no power, and you're looking at it just destroyed. Some damage to my house and garage. My neighbor saw it coming down the street. Senator Griffo, County Executive Pacini, and Mayor Lanigan out with sheriff checking on the city. God bless all of them, says Ann in Rome. And by the way, her dog is safe.
We had minor damage at our house, and down the road in the trailer park, a tree fell on a trailer.
Yeah, I think Manaski sent us photos of
Jeff,
that.
Jeff, we'll speak with him in a little while.
Jeff was in the park at the time of the tornado, so I ran into him and talked to him.
I saw a video of somebody driving through the storm. I don't know if they were on Erie Boulevard or what. I couldn't really tell because of the heavy monsoon-like rain that was falling down, but you could see in the video that he was kind of wondering, wow, this is a bad rainstorm. Wow, this is a bad storm. And then he kind of got overwhelmed and had to just stop his vehicle and pull over.
Which is one of the things you don't want to do, because someone can come and you got to get into a really safe place. But when you can't see going forward, you really can't go forward, right?
Right.
I mean,
you got to pull over, put those flashers on.
Boy, oh boy. All right, we have a lot to get to. Coming up, we will speak with meteorologist Jill Reel from WKTV, and Andrew has an update on news coming right up. Stand by at WIBX.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top quality tires at unbeatable prices. Now through September 2nd, get up to $130 back on a Firestone Visa prepaid card when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Or buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get up to $140 back on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile. To learn more and to schedule an appointment, visit tallmanstire.com.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Paleo, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I'm really excited to introduce more fantastic new businesses that have recently become a part of our thriving community. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
Air City Cannabis, 17070 Oriskany Street West, Utica. Renegade Boxing, 310 Broad Street, Utica. Goldmine 2, 4662 Commercial Drive, New Hartford.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
Wow. Biden's at it again.
Inflation, rising costs for everything. What now?
Try big government control of our Medicare drug benefit.
The more I hear, the more it seems we can't afford Biden's Medicare agenda.
They're right. And it's because seniors are already feeling the pain of Biden's drug coverage changes, with almost 2 million forced from their plans and spiked premiums for nearly 5 million more. Now, Congress wants to expand the Biden Medicare agenda even more. But studies show Biden's plan will restrict access, shrink coverage, and limit availability of needed drugs for all seniors. Thankfully, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is a champion for Medicare drug coverage.
Right now, we're at 67 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. Police have identified the woman who was found murdered in Oswego over the weekend. On Saturday, officers were called to a home at West Schuyler Street after getting a report of a person who needed medical attention. When first responders arrived at the scene, they pronounced 38-year-old Rachel Allen dead. An autopsy revealed she died of blunt force trauma, and 35-year-old Ricky Colon is facing murder and other charges. He remains in the Oswego County Jail without bail. Cleanup is still underway and will be for some time after a line of severe storms ripped through the central New York region. Rome, which is located in Oneida County, saw severe damage, including trees that hit homes and roofs that were ripped off of churches. One person was also killed when the thunderstorms rolled through Canastota in Madison County. There are also residents in the area who lost power due to the storms and are still waiting for their service to be restored. Herkimer police asking the public to help them locate a missing woman who has not been in contact with family for several weeks. The family of Brianna Morehouse say they are concerned for her safety. She's described as having light brown hair and blue eyes. Anyone with information about her whereabouts or have recently seen Brianna is urged to call police at 315-866-4330. You can see her photo at WIBX950.com. An Oriskany Falls man was arrested for unlawful imprisonment and domestic violence. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office said police arrested 44-year-old Ahmad Rashid Jr. after investigating a domestic incident from July 5th. Authorities determined Rashid held a victim against their will and hit them several times, which resulted in injury. The victim was able to escape with her child and call police from a business across the street. Rashid reportedly fled but was found the following day at a nature stroll in Madison. New York State Police and forest rangers located Rashid using K-9 units and drones. He faces multiple charges, including harassment and assault. He was held pending arraignment. An Enchanted Forest Water Safari is looking to add employees to work the rest of the summer. There are a variety of positions that need to be filled right now, including lifeguards, ride operators, security and food service. A $200 bonus is being offered to any lifeguard who is hired, trained, and remains in their job until the season ends. For more information, head to watersafari.com. It is 6:37. Your weather forecasts is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for Wednesday. Scattered thunderstorms, nothing like yesterday. Maybe in the morning, widespread in the afternoon. It will be somewhat cooler with a high of 82. Tonight, rain showers early, then clearing later on at night at a high of 62. And on Thursday, partly cloudy and cooler, high 78. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now it's 67 degrees under partly cloudy skies at 6:38.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down at Mattress Express on anything in the store for qualified buyers. See store for details. Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus in New Hartford, in Oneida, and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Boot Camp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of Rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
At Destination Kia of Utica, we want you to keep your money in your pocket.
With no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like a brand new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive for just $398 per month for 36 months.
And that's with 0 down, 0 due at inception, even sales tax included.
Only during the Splash into Savings sales event.
Make that short drive and choose from 400 Kias in one location.
Now that's kooky!
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage LX. VIN number R7322799. MSRP $31,170. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due at inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 7/31/2024.
Go BOGO crazy at My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. The combinations are endless. In stock, fast delivery, plus no credit needed financing. Go BOGO today only at My Carl's and the new Hartford Shopping Center.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, talking about all the storm activity yesterday, it was just really unprecedented. We'll get to that coming up in a second. Kathy in Rome, stand by. We'll get to you. Cordelia in Rome, please stand by. We're going to get to you as well. Let me go to meteorologist Jill Reel from WKTV. Jill, good morning. Wow, a busy few days for you guys.
Yeah, it's been quite the week in Central New York, starting last Wednesday, and then we had severe weather on Monday, and then, of course, last night as well.
All right, so have we seen anything like this before?
Not recently. No, not. We were looking at information. The last time we had wind speeds that high in Rome was 2013, and it was not tornadic. And I don't recall, at least my time working at WKTV for the last 17 years, that we've ever had this many tornadoes within a short period of time.
Even I believe the National Weather Service said a record was broken the other day with the number of tornado warnings. Also, I know this is getting a little geeky, and I apologize, but not to you, because I feel like you'll be okay with it. But everybody else. But the technology you currently have, and at one point yesterday it went out. You had a power surge.
Oh, yes.
And you went back. I got to tell you, they broke away from your programming for like 15 seconds when your video went down. And I'm like, no, this is the best part. They're making do with what they have. I mean, the technology, even though it for a brief point went away yesterday, we've come a long way since the days of Lyle Bosley.
Oh, definitely. And even when we lost power and I had no weather graphics, at least I had my phone. Back in the day, I wouldn't even have my phone to look at. So that helped a lot too. But the technology really helps us. I do believe it helps, prevent injuries when we can actually detect the tornado on the radar as it heads towards people. So people actually, heed the warning and take it seriously, which is very important.
Jill, talk about the conditions that lead up to, because I think it was about noon yesterday that the initial watch went out from the National Weather Service. Talk about the conditions prior to something like this happening that kind of, fuel it or would lead to what happened yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday was different than last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we were dealing with a tropical system. So we had a lot of what we call wind shear, or change in direction in the wind in the atmosphere. Yesterday, we had the heat, the humidity, and we had a cold front approaching. So they were expecting a squall line to develop. And when you have a squall line, you have what's called a QLCS, or a quasi-linear convective system that can produce tornadoes. So that's why they issued that warning early on at the noon hour, just to give people a heads up that there is potential for that yesterday.
It was all hands on deck for you guys yesterday. I think Bill Cardis was not in, and I don't think was supposed to be in yesterday. Steve McMurray was in. You were there. By the way, you retired. You're there.
Yes.
But we come together when we have to, and it is amazing. This used to be. I just want to say that what you guys are able to do used to be, it didn't used to exist. This is all really modern time local television. It used to be radio that was the only place to turn because TV wasn't so immediate, but you have become incredibly immediate. And there's no doubt it was a massive public service yesterday.
And even when people lost power, they still had their phones.
Yeah.
So our weather app was still giving out the warnings. You could still watch us streaming on there. So back then, when you didn't have TV, you listened to the radio, because a lot of radios are battery powered back, before all the technology.
Yeah.
Now people use their phones.
I did try to assure my neighbor that Wheel was a repeat, and that Pat Sajak is gone, so you're not missing anything.
I was wondering about that.
You're not missing anything there. But again, all of the colors, I thought it was very interesting because, and you're right. What is so crazy about all of this is we at our fingertips. If you have a smartphone, we have some of this technology right in our hands.
Yeah, like a Doppler or whatever.
I mean, I was looking at the. This is really. I swear to you, this happened. I was looking at the map and I saw, I believe it was pink, bright pink colors inside all of this front that was going through. And I said to my wife, I said, I don't know. She said, I don't know. It's coming up as ice. I said, maybe that's hail. And then all of a sudden, you took it away. So it was it was showing hail.
Yeah, and sometimes technology can be a curse. There were a lot of fake photos going around last night.
Oh my gosh!
So I just want to stress to people, double check your sources before you start sharing.
Yeah, it looked like the movie poster from Twister. It was over on Erie Boulevard. I'm like, come on.
I didn't.
Like
see
somebody
any of that
photoshopped
stuff.
the Twister onto the.
That's funny.
It was a bad Photoshop, but
it really was.
We were also in a non-serious moment, just for a second. we were talking just like in the last week, with all the severe weather. It's just Mother Nature trying to promote this new Twister movie that comes out Friday.
Yeah, literally.
Right. Yes.
But Jill,
That's
I want
funny.
to ask about one thing that Bill posted on his Facebook because I didn't see it live. Something called the debris ball, which this technology can detect not maybe the actual storm, but like actual physical debris that's moving around.
If you've been watching this, that's what this has all been about, and you're able to see when there's debris in the air, which is, while it's not a confirmed sighting, it is a really good indicator, right?
Yeah, so this happened last week and yesterday while I was on air for both. So in Forestport last week, before they issued the tornado warning, I saw that debris ball, and I was like, okay, something's picking this debris in the air, and it has to be something large enough that the radar's detecting it. And then yesterday, same thing. It was a tornado warning, but once you see that debris ball, there's two different types of tornado warnings. There's just a normal one and then a confirmed tornado warning. So the National Weather Service switched it to confirmed. So it's a radar confirmed tornado because there's so much debris in the air. So the radar picks up the rain, obviously, but it also picks up other things in the air. We've seen birds migrating, but it noticed large objects in the air. So that is why we confirmed it then.
I don't know. I don't remember, and maybe you do, anything so widespread when it comes to a tornado.
There was
like what we're looking
buildings.
at in Rome, and then beyond, there's damage beyond Rome as well. I don't ever remember anything like this.
Yeah, and the only thing that comes close, but it wasn't widespread, was the Smithfield tornado. I think it was 2014. That in Madison County had 4 deaths associated with it. I think that was a little bit of a stronger tornado, but that was very isolated. We had this line that went from Lowville all the way to Oneonta that just pushed through, and even those who weren't in the tornado area still saw damage just from thunderstorm winds. It was nuts.
Yeah. And I do hate to say this, but I imagine it's, I mean, you went to school for this. You teach this. I believe, are you teaching meteorology?
I'm teaching, so I do take there's a meteorology course I teach, but I also teach earth science.
Which makes sense. But I mean, you went to school for this. Weather people live for days like, I know you don't want to see damage, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but this is what you live for. This is what your entire career has been built for, I believe. Is that, do you feel that way?
Yeah, and not only like that, I mean, every winter storm, too. It's not just, the tornadoes and severe weather. And it's a great learning tool for us to understand what happened and why it happened and how we can predict it in the future. So this is what helps us, especially last week when we had a tropical storm moving in July, which is very rare for central New York. We usually see those in August and September. So now we're learning how to adapt to that earlier in the season.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like it's like a team going back and looking at oh my gosh, well, how do we perform in this game? How can we do better? What did we do right? You've got the replay of the radar to kind of look at the trends and stuff.
And it is, and a couple of times you actually went back to show what you had seen yesterday. I mean, I was glued to the coverage. It was in between running out to see if my trees were still up in my backyard. There is some thunderstorm activity in the forecast for today, but nothing like yesterday.
No, and we were joking. Bill's working today, so there shouldn't be any severe weather.
Okay. Whenever he's off, it all hits.
Right.
Yeah.
There is some thunderstorms later today, but nothing of the severe variety. And this is when the cold front moves through, and then we'll say goodbye to the humidity for an extended period of time, which is fantastic.
All right.
But a beautiful weekend, at least what it appears to be on the way, with sunshine and comfortable temperatures.
I got to tell you something. We are, I don't know, I'm assuming as a science person, we don't have to get into the argument of who caused what or what caused what, but global warming is happening. I feel like in another 20 years, teachers, when spring break comes up and all the families, they're all going to go here to Sylvan Beach instead of, going down to Myrtle Beach. It seems like our weather is changing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, it's going to get more and more. This is going to be more of the norm, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about, I'll take the warmer temperatures. I don't want the bugs and the alligators and the snakes moving up here.
Yeah, keep those. I mean, it's hard enough I have to deal with these stink bugs. So
yeah, I know.
Keep them away. All right, great stuff. Great job, Jill.
Thank
you guys.
And thank you for joining us.
Did an all hands on deck tremendous job.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Let me go to get an update. Cordelia and Kathy, I'm still coming with you. We're just, as you might expect, loaded today. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. I want to squeeze him in here. And, of course, the latest on the Secret Service, they're thanking local police departments, while with the other hand kind of pointing fingers. I would think, Ryan, that this is still all on Secret Service, right?
I mean, I would assume
Personally,
that most of the
yeah.
security plan is going to be on them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, but yeah, we can't really be pointing fingers until we get more answers.
Yeah, I just don't I think the big question for me has been, for the time you saw some guy putting a ladder, or kid, for God's sakes, he looks like a child.
I know.
Geeky wanted that. So you can see why, I shouldn't say, but they said he was picked on and he was bullied and that sort of thing. I can see that. But normally you don't expect a kid to go off and, I'm going to shoot the former president. Anyway, you see somebody climbing on a building with a ladder, and then they've made confirmation, and there's time in between. Why did they allow Donald Trump to come out on the stage? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, these are all questions that we do not have answers for.
Yeah.
The Secret Service director has defended the plan briefly, but she has said the buck stops with her. But I think what we need to be ready for is this declassified briefing that's going to happen today. Both the House and Senate are getting one. And then we're also expecting the Secret Service director to appear before the Oversight Committee on Monday in her first public testimony since the shooting. And then she very well could be there for the Homeland Security Committee on Tuesday.
I don't know how she keeps her job after this.
Well, and Mayorkas is saying he has 100% confidence in her.
I know.
I don't know how he does.
Well, and Ryan, this is increased security on the former president because of the Iranian story that was lingering, we didn't know about, but because there was an Iranian threat on Trump, they increased security coverage on the former president.
Yep.
Boy, what would it have been like if they hadn't have done that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird situation, right? You know, we get this story about this alleged attempt on former President Trump that was being planned, even though, they're not really connected to the shooting that happened. But, that we find out that there was heightened security for former President Trump, and it still didn't stop the situation from happening. So Secret Service says they're stretched thin. This may, in some ways, counteract that, even though, you can still make the argument that they're still stretched thin, even if they were enhancing security. But now, apparently, according to this Department of Homeland Security, they're going to even more enhanced security for former President Trump.
Oh, boy. This is just, these are unprecedented times. There's just no doubt about it. And I, on another note, far different, completely inappropriate of me, but it was so good to see the Orioles come back against the Yankees the other night.
Goodbye, I was wondering you guys were going to bring that up. I was wondering you guys were going to bring that up.
Well, as a Mets fan, I'm just sitting back watching. So,
I mean, it's always good to get a win when a shortstop bobbles a ball and a left fielder trips over their own feet.
I was watching. I was like, wow, this is how they lost the game, because we stopped watching because we assumed they were going to lose. My dad was like, "Oh yeah, this game's over." And then next, the score shows 6-5, and we watched the highlights, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is what happened."
This is what we want.
Didn't you see Clay Holmes warming up in the bullpen? Why would you go away from that?
Anyway, I expect to see a very exciting September in the American League. So
my blood pressure doesn't.
Ryan Schmelz, as always, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll check in later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thanks. I know Cordelia's been waiting for quite some time. She's in Rome. Are you okay? Everything good, Cordelia?
Well, I'm pinned in.
You are.
My front yard looks like a war zone.
God.
And we have no power yet. I haven't looked out in the back. I'm afraid to even look around the other side of the house. I see shingles when I open my door. I have some little kittens I've been feeding. I found them, so I got food to them. And the neighbors have come over to see if I was okay. And we had a young guy. We had two groups of young guys going up and down the street finding people.
Wow.
And it's very heartwarming for the younger people to get out and do that.
Cordelia,
that's pretty awesome.
without giving your address away, what general area of Rome are you in?
South Rome.
South Rome, okay.
South Rome. Yeah. One street over from Erie Boulevard.
Okay. Well, you're
And,
okay. You have food, you have water, you don't have electricity, but you have the necessities.
I don't know if we have gas yet because some of the guys said the gas company was up in the next block yesterday. So I'm not even going through the stove because I don't know.
All right.
And I'm not going to run the hot water because that would disturb the water tank. But no, that's about it. And last night I listened to the Fox News about the president, and they chopped that up and back and forth. And but I always believed in having a good, solid radio with a battery in it.
Well, I'm glad that's very important to have because otherwise we wouldn't have you here right now. I mean, that's always big.
You wouldn't have us. I mean, what a terrible loss that would be for you.
What the world would be like without us.
Yeah. You can't live without you guys.
No. Or with us, apparently.
I have my light lantern, and I have a whole bunch of low flashlights. And,
so you're ready. You're ready.
You just do what you have to do.
You
but
do.
I'd be happy with they get somebody down here to saw off all this wood.
All right. Well, if you need help, you let us know, and we appreciate it, Cordelia.
Okay. Take care, and God bless
safe.
everybody around.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Kathy, I know I'm coming up on the end here. Do you mind if could I take you right out of sports and do that in just a few minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Hold tight.
You hang, and we're going to come right with you next. Absolutely. News is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
They ran against him. Now they support him. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
My fellow Republicans, let's send Joe Biden back to his basement and let's send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley called for unity at the GOP convention.
For the sake of our nation, we have to go with Donald Trump.
Haley held off endorsing the former president after the primaries and told her supporters last night you don't have to agree with him 100% of the time to vote for him. Fox's Brooke Singman's in Milwaukee.
The theme for day 2 was Make America Safe once again, and we heard tragic stories from real Americans about the impact of violent crime and illegal immigration on their families.
To this day, we have not heard from Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. But when Rachel was killed, President Trump called my family to offer his condolences.
Michael Moran's sister Rachel was murdered in Maryland last year. The suspected killer, now in jail, is a migrant who came to the U.S. in a record surge of illegal border crossings. President Biden's in Las Vegas and will address Latino voters the day after going to the NAACP convention.
There is the truth about why Donald Trump's presidency was held for Black America. He tried to repeal Obamacare. He kicked millions of Black Americans off their health insurance.
Now, the Democratic convention's next month, but there is a plan to nominate President Biden virtually ahead of that. Set up initially to get around an Ohio ballot issue since resolved. Some House Democrats are urging the party to cancel that virtual roll call as premature.
Basically, these Democrats are saying that this is not the way to set up Joe Biden. They still have concerns about the viability of his candidacy. Here's what they write. Regardless of whether President Biden remains our nominee, Democratic unity and enthusiasm will be critical between now and November 5th.
That's Fox Business Network, Cheryl Casoni. America's listening to Fox News.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, you've heard me say that cell phone service with Pure Talk is half the cost of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. $20 a month, you get unlimited talk and text, plenty of data, And you think, okay, Hannity, what's the catch? Well, there isn't one. Just ask the thousands of listeners who have made the switch of mine, and they love Pure Talk and their U.S. customer service, the great coverage on America's most dependable 5G network. Dial pound 250, say the keyword save now to start saving now on your cell phone plan.
Guilty. Senator Bob Menendez heard that 16 times in a New York federal courtroom, convicted of bribery and other corruption charges. The New Jersey Democrat could be sentenced to decades in prison, but he still maintains he's innocent.
Senator Menendez, after court, said this case is not over.
I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision and that we will be successful upon appeal.
Senator Menendez has not changed his plans to run as an independent for his Senate seat. Top Democrats are pushing him to resign. Should Menendez refuse, the Senate could move to expel him. It would need a 2/3 vote to do it. That step would be up to the majority leader or the Senate's Ethics Committee. It is not a requirement to pursue expulsion even after a conviction. In New York City, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
A condemned murderer was spared last night in Texas. The Supreme Court blocked Ruben Gutierrez's execution just minutes before the lethal injection as he appeals for new DNA testing that Gutierrez claims will exonerate him. On Wall Street, stock futures have been down after a huge day for the Dow, surging up 742 points to a new record high. In baseball's All-Star game, the American League shined again.
For the 10th time in the last 11 matchups, the AL defeated the National League 5-3 in the All-Star game. In the third inning, Dodger star Shohei Ohtani gave the National League a 3-0 lead with a 3-run shot, but the AL tied it up in the bottom half before Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran put the AL squad up for good in the 5th inning.
Here's the high fly ball off of the bat at Jarren Duran. That one will leave the yard and give the American League its first lead of the night.
That was courtesy of Fox, as Duran was named the MVP, and the AL now has a 48-44-2 record all-time in the All-Star game.
That's Joe Morgan. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now we have cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. Cleanup is still underway after a line of severe storms ripped through the central New York region. Rome saw severe damage, including trees that hit homes and roofs that were ripped off of churches and other businesses. One person was also killed when thunderstorms rolled through Canastota in Madison County. There are also residents in the area who lost power due to the storms and are still waiting for their service to be restored. Police have identified the woman who was found murdered in Oswego over the weekend. On Saturday, officers were called to a home on West Schuyler Street after getting a report of a person who needed medical attention. When first responders arrived at the scene, they pronounced 38-year-old Rachel Allen dead. An autopsy revealed she died of blunt force trauma, and 35-year-old Ricky Colon is facing murder and other charges. He remains in the Oswego County Jail without bail. An Oriskany Falls man was arrested for unlawful imprisonment and domestic violence. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office said police arrested 44-year-old Ahmad Rashid Jr. after investigating a domestic incident from July 5th. Authorities determined Rashid held a victim against their will and hit them several times, which resulted in injury. The victim was able to escape with her child and call police from a business across the street. Rashid reportedly fled but was found the following day at a nature stroll in Madison. New York State Police and forest rangers located Rashid using K-9 units and drones. He faces multiple charges, including harassment and assault. He was held pending arraignment. Herkimer police asking the public to help them locate a missing woman who has not been in contact with family for several weeks. The family of Brianna Morehouse say they are concerned for her safety. She's described as having light brown hair and blue eyes. Anyone with information about her whereabouts or have recently spoke to Brianna Morehouse is urged to call Herkimer Police at 315-866-4330. You can see her photo at WIBX950.com. The Enchanted Forest Water Safari Resort in Old Forge is still looking to add employees to work the rest of the summer season. There are a variety of positions that need to be filled right now, including lifeguards, water ride operators, security, and food service. A $200 bonus is being offered to any lifeguard who is hired, trained, and remains in their job until the season ends. For more information, head to watersafari.com. And this fall, the only green dinosaur fossil ever discovered will be on display at the National History Museum of Los Angeles County. The dinosaur is nicknamed Natalie, with a silent G, for the gnats that swarmed a crew during the excavation process in the Badlands of Utah in 2007. The long-necked, long-tailed herbivore lived an estimated 150 million years ago during the late Jurassic era, making it older than the T-Rex. Most dinosaur fossils are brown or black. The rare green color is from the mineral selladonite, excuse me, I know I butchered that, which forms in volcanic or hydrothermal conditions, usually destroying buried bones. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time 7:09. Here is your weather forecast.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for Wednesday. Scattered thunderstorms, nothing like yesterday. Maybe in the morning, widespread in the afternoon. It will be somewhat cooler with a high of 82. Tonight, rain showers early, then clearing later on at night at a high of 62. And on Thursday, partly cloudy and cooler, high 78. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 68 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Fans of the Syracuse University football team can now buy seats to see their team in action. Single game tickets are available for this season's contests at the JMA Wireless Dome. SU's home opener is scheduled for August 31st against Ohio and will feature the debut of brand new head coach Fran Brown. The Orange are also set to host Miami, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. Tickets can be purchased online at Cuse.com or through Ticketmaster. The American League rallied to beat the National League 5-3 to win the 2024 MLB All-Star Game at Globe Life Field. Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran broke a tie in the bottom of the fifth with a two-run homer to give the AL the lead. Athletics right-hander Mason Miller was credited with the victory, and Guardians closer Emmanuel Clace earned the save after each pitched a scoreless inning of relief. Reds righty Hunter Green was tagged with the loss after allowing 2 runs on 2 hits. Dodgers designated hitter Shohei Ohtani launched a 3-run shot for the National League. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred was present to answer questions at the All-Star Game. Manfred expressed concern for player safety as it relates to gambling, saying that players are receiving threats. He mentioned that players have told him in the last month that they are concerned, but would not go into specific detail. In addition, MLB is hoping to test robot umpires as part of a challenge system during spring training next year and could make an automated ball strike component possible as early as 2026. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time 7:11. If you're dealing with excruciating pain that is chronic, which is every day when you wake up before you go to sleep, it keeps you up at night. It does not allow you to do the things you'd like to do. Why not try a brand new technology developed in Germany and now at 2709 Genesee Street in Utica? That's Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street. And if you're dealing with neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, knee and ankle pain, or just ankle and foot pain like I was dealing with, this may help. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. The technology sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, which actually draws blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to the injured, inflamed, or impacted area. All you have to do is call them up, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. Let them know you heard about them on the Keeler Show, and you'll get a sweet discount. As part of Discovery Days, you'll get an initial consultation with one of their doctors, a softwave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan and assessment that's right for you. Get more information, reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care. The best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens. You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home. When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Wow. Biden's at it again.
Inflation, rising costs for everything. What now?
Try big government control of our Medicare drug benefit.
The more I hear, the more it seems we can't afford Biden's Medicare agenda.
They're right. And it's because seniors are already feeling the pain of Biden's drug coverage changes, with almost 2 million forced from their plans and spiked premiums for nearly 5 million more. Now, Congress wants to expand the Biden Medicare agenda even more. But studies show Biden's plan will restrict access, shrink coverage, and limit availability of needed drugs for all seniors. Thankfully, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is a champion for Medicare drug coverage. Call her at 202-224-3121. Urge her to stop Biden's radical Medicare changes by opposing H.R. 4895 now. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at AbacusPays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at AbacusPays.com.
Hey Utica, it is time for the rodeo. August 2nd and 3rd, the rodeo returns to Utica. 2 nights of the best bull riders in the Northeast competing for cash prizes. Join us before the event for live music in the Subaru Village and then see the bulls, broncs, and so much more. The Utica Stampede, Rodeo, and Expo, presented by Don's Ford, Clinton Tractor, Subaru, and best enjoyed with Coors Banquet, the official beer of the rodeo. Tickets available now at uticarodeo.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, as promised, here she is from Rome, Kathy in Rome. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. How you doing?
Morning.
Are you okay over there?
We lost our cherry tree.
Oh, boy.
Out in the backyard. It split. It looks like the electricity hit it, and it was split in 4 parts in every direction.
Oh, that could be lightning.
So,
yeah.
And I found some shingles, whether they've come off the house or the garage. But our flagpole that we have a giant flagpole in the front yard, that got picked up completely. and that was dropped over the fence in my neighbor's yard. Luckily, it didn't cause any damage to their house.
Yeah.
And but a lot of my neighbors, they've got trees on their houses. Some people had pieces of fence that just pierced into the siding and everything. Some people lost their fence completely. We have right now, we don't have any idea about when we get our electricity back. There's a couple of poles, and there's lots of lines down on the streets.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so bad.
We are up from MVCC, the Rome campus, and the area of Bell and Broadway.
Okay.
Some people got hit real bad, and other people
not as bad, right?
Not much of anything.
I gotta say, I'm looking at a video this morning from. I gotta make sure the audio doesn't come up on this. Probably will. From a guy, I can tell you what his name was. Let's see if I can get it to play. Try it again here. Here it is. Kyle Butts.
Yeah, this is the video I was talking about.
This is unbelievable.
Where he's driving through it.
He is driving through Rome. Joe Habaika's in right now. Hi, Joe.
Good morning, Bill.
He is driving through Rome during this, and at one point he drives into the path, clearly into the path of the tornado, because you're seeing debris like go over the top of his car.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. It's like
based
something
on his verbal reaction too. You can tell. That
Did he not know that he was driving into the path, or
he was in the middle of it? They were driving in the city. My guess is he's trying to go somewhere and thinking, all right, it's a pretty bad storm, but it within seconds elevated so fast. He didn't have anywhere to go, and there's other traffic on the road. It looks like maybe he's going down one of the boulevards.
I think Erie Boulevard.
It looks like Erie
From
Boulevard.
what it looks like.
Erie, because that's where I saw a car flipped over. A picture.
I saw a car flipped over too.
Yeah.
I got a picture of that.
Debbie in Rome saying on the app, why wasn't there an emergency alert set to cell phones? I do recall on my way up to Hinckley yesterday at about 3:15.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I got 9 of them. I got 9 of them last week. I didn't get a single one, and I was in the warning.
I got one yesterday.
Yeah.
At about 3 o'clock.
I didn't.
3:15. But
I don't know what happened.
I don't think I got one.
We had one vehicle parked in the driveway and one vehicle parked down on the street, and luckily there was no damage. I had some lawn ornaments. They got picked up, and I figured, they were going to be broken, and a little ways off, there's all the lawn ornaments, and they weren't broken at all.
That's good. All right, well,
nice.
Yes.
It's nice to hear you guys. Otherwise, we're just sitting in the dark waiting.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear you guys are okay. Kathy.
Hang in there and let us know if you need anything.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let me go to the county executive, Anthony Pisani, who is, as you might expect, pretty busy today. Tony, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thank you.
This is, we just don't see stuff like this.
No, we don't. And it is literally, something that it's very hard to describe, even with the pictures. It took a really crazy path from South Rome, through the downtown. It swept around different parts of East Rome and then up as far as Griffo, and just kept making its way through. It's we've got a lot of people out of power, as you've heard.
Yeah.
A lot of the damage is just, I can't even put a number or any kind of estimate. I think we estimate somewhere in the 500 to 700 homes that are damaged.
Yeah.
Let alone some more without power. So we've got quite a mess.
How do you? This is just stuff that we don't get. So you're budget-wise, you're not planning for stuff like this.
Well, I mean, this is why you have that, so-called rainy day fund or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, on our end, but obviously with the help of the state and the fact that hopefully the feds at some point. But this is when in the early stages, everybody. That's why the federal government often doesn't understand that we're on our own at the beginning, and it's really hard to get all this done. But we're having cooperation, clearly from the state of New York Emergency Services. We'll probably see National Guard troops to come in to clean because, Bill, you just have no idea what South Rome looks like. Just throughout. I mean, the fact that this knocked the knocked the pedestal of the
That's incredible. Yeah.
Took the wheel off or whatever. I mean, it just the magnitude of this, and I was asked yesterday on the media briefing at the time, the mayor and I did it with do you know that this was a tornado? And I was like, well, I didn't say it this way, but it walks like a duck, looks like a duck.
Yeah.
Quacks like a duck. It's a tornado. I mean, they called for a tornado warning. This thing comes through and does the devastation to the magnitude of taking roofs off houses, flipping cars, going through brick walls. That's not a microburst. It's not a storm.
Yeah, that's a tornado.
It's a tornado.
Yeah.
I mean,
who makes the call on that, Tony?
Who makes the call on that?
Yeah, because
I think ultimately the National Weather Service.
I believe so.
Because I think
come
wasn't it back
and
like
evaluate.
that Labor Day
Hold on, Joe. You got to go right on that mic because we can't hear
Labor Day storm it had to be.
Oh yeah.
They called it a microburst when everyone was saying it was a tornado in order to save the insurance companies.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be curious to see what the situation.
That's an interesting point. Like, are people going to be covered? Are there going to be situations where the insurance companies are fighting this because they're not used to covering this type of damage? That's going to be, I think, you've got businesses and homes, severe damage, and more than just flooding.
And you already have, businesses yesterday as we were walking through late in the afternoon, early evening, we're doing some cleanup on their own. I mean, there's, North Jane Street, the restaurant corridor over there between Big J's and we took a ton of damage, and DeSalvo's and the China House and other small businesses. That one, so they were already trying to clean up or just looking at it, not knowing what to do at this point.
Yeah,
because the roofs are lying in the street.
It's on. Really, the
the main thing now, the good thing is, I guess, obviously, as of and even as of this morning, and since I've been through the night and early morning, nothing serious in terms of injuries that we're aware of. Nothing worse than that, obviously. We have a great deal of people without power. Some even. Unaffected areas, like my neighborhood, I don't have any power.
Yeah.
And, but we weren't damaged, but throughout the city, there's, 11,000 or, pretty much a big chunk of Rome is still
without power. Which brings me to if you have a neighbor, you have an elderly neighbor, or somebody who looks like they need help. I'm sure this has already been done, but try to reach out to them. All right.
We established a shelter up at Griffith's as well at
Okay.
the hangar for anybody who needs to get there. The Red Cross has set up cots, and we had people there last night. We'll deal with that again today, as we sift through the wreckage and see what else is there. But we got so much. We got a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay, we'll check in for more. We appreciate your time and good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, County Executive Anthony Piceni. What's interesting, Joe Habaika's in this morning. We'll talk a little Utica School District, which was on the plan. Of course, things like this happen. Not often, though. We've never seen anything like this. Here's the funny part of this.
Unprecedented.
Here's the part of this thank you for that. I mean, he doesn't know this, but oftentimes I call Joe Thesaurus. So do you realize that this tornado is classified as a weak tornado by the National Weather Service?
Really?
An EF0, an EF1. This has to be an EF1 because we were on, the winds were, an EF0 and EF1 has wind speeds of 65 to 110 miles an hour. We have registered winds of, at Griffiths of over 80 miles an hour. So that would bring this most likely to an EF1. I don't know a ton about this, but I would assume it's an EF1. That is classified as a weak tornado. An EF2 and EF3 is considered strong with winds of 111 to 165 miles an hour. And a violent EF4 or EF5, wind speeds of 166 to 200 miles per hour or more.
Wow.
So
it's crazy.
It's hard to say after all this could have been so much worse, but it could have been.
Right.
And we, in Oneida County, I know there was a death in Canastota, but in Oneida County, there are no major injuries, no deaths. So that is miraculous, I believe. Sheriff Rob Mashel with us right now. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. You have seen it all out there. Assess the damage for us.
Well, I've been on the job 35 years. I've lived in the country for the past 10 years. I've seen a lot of storms, but nothing even close to the magnitude of damage I saw yesterday. Just incredible. And like you said, thank God there's no serious injuries. That's the most important thing, of course. But the devastation, I know you just had the county executive on, but county executive and I and the mayor and Senator Griffo, we toured, walked parts of the city, meeting with residents that were in the affected areas. The devastation is just, it's heartbreaking. I mean, the people literally, in some neighborhoods, they have nothing left. It's just devastating. But we sent all our resources to Rome along with the state police. We had forest rangers there last night. As far as law enforcement goes, the Rome Police Department, their incident command, so we're providing them any resource they need. We have staff already back out there this morning, and we want to assist with anything we can, but just truly, truly devastating. And I cannot stress enough, I know people are curious and they want to go see these things, but please stay out of Rome. It's just, the first responders that were out there last night, they had their hands full with what was going on as it is, obviously. But on top of that, I have not seen this traffic flow at that late hour in the city of Rome ever before. And it really made the first responders' work 10 times more difficult. And I cannot stress it enough. Please stay away. Look at the pictures that, the government officials are putting up. Don't come through these neighborhoods because you're just it's making it so much more difficult.
So you had a lot of people just out driving to see what it looked like.
Yeah, and it was very frustrating because they were getting in the way of a lot of things.
Yeah,
and, obviously the neighboring volunteer fire departments were coming in to assist the city of Rome. I mean, everyone was coming to help, but it was the people who were just being nosy. I mean, that's not necessary. We don't need that right now. The people there
something to consider when you're out and about. You don't know when a tree has been weakened or damaged to the point where it could still fall on its own. Same thing with power lines, etc. You really are going into an area, and you could be driving last night, could very well be driving into a power line that's still live on the ground.
Absolutely, and as different parts of the circuits were being energized during the night, Rome was getting reports of various types of fires. Nothing serious, but what happens is these lines all over the ground. I mean, they're laying on trees, they're laying on wooden debris, or other houses. They're hot. I mean, and we tell people all the time, I don't care if it's a phone wire, treat it as it's got energy, because you don't know what's on the other end here. And like you said, some of the pictures I took myself last night, there's poles snapped in half. I don't know what's still holding them up, but there are literally sections of metal roof tangled in the lines, wrapped around transformers, and they're just dangling in the midair. And as you said, I mean, at any time these things could come down. Brick buildings buckling into the roadways. So again, it's a dangerous situation, and if you don't need to be there, please don't go there.
Going forward, what's the plan for today? I'm assuming just assessing the damage and cleanup.
Exactly. Obviously, the Rome has incident command. Anything we can do to assist, and certainly the county and the state and federal government is giving all their resources available to the city.
Yeah.
But it's very sad. They've got a long road ahead of them. And obviously this is a very strong community. We come together when in time of need. We've shown that time and time again. But our hearts go out to the people in these areas. I am talking devastation like I've never seen before. I've never seen that before.
Not here. Definitely
No,
not
not
here.
at all.
Okay, Sheriff, we appreciate it. We'll continue, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.
Sounds good, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Sheriff Rob Mitchell. This is just so unprecedented. Joe, I mean, you've been here for centuries.
Welcome back in studio, Joe.
Have you ever seen, as the sheriff said, he's never seen anything like this?
No, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about it. It's kind of depressing, but you have to look at the positive side, which is that the community will come together and help each other, which is one of the strong points of our area. So I'm hoping that, people can recover and go on with their daily lives. It's good to know that nobody
got
died.
Hurt. Nobody died.
It's great.
You have a new superintendent over at Utica. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Also, more on Rome. We'll take your phone calls at 315-736-0186. And now I just want you to see it happen live, if you don't mind. Davey, good morning. Good morning, Davey.
Good morning.
Look at the look.
So... if you're watching on YouTube, you see that Joe is looking directly at Davey.
Davey is making zero eye contact.
Good morning. What money are we giving away today?
$100.
Nice job, Davey.
You need to come in here more often and save yourself some money.
On the line,
Thank you.
A C-Note, $100. Your chance to win from Hobica. What call are you looking at here? What do you want?
Caller 5.
Fifth caller right now. Your chance to win from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, with him in studio. Caller number 5, 315-736-0186 right now at WIBX.
New York State's largest selection of Purple mattresses is at Mattress Express. Come in and try all 9 Purple mattresses. We pull up the website and give you the same price as online. No appointment necessary. All locations at mattressexpressny.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
Go BOGO crazy at My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. The combinations are endless. In stock, fast delivery, plus no credit needed financing. Go BOGO today only at My Carl's and the new Hartford Shopping Center.
My name is Mark Cry. I'm the Director of Thoracic Surgery here at Mohawk Valley Health System. I'm a board-certified thoracic surgeon specializing in robotic thoracic surgery. Thoracic surgery encompasses most of the issues that occur in the chest, things like lung cancer, esophageal cancer. We've implemented a multidisciplinary approach to thoracic oncology, which has never been available here in the Mohawk Valley. Patients really benefit from treatment in a multidisciplinary team with a number of specialties all coming together to provide the cutting-edge, high-quality care that the patients of Mohawk Valley deserve. The lung cancer screening program here at MVHS identifies people who may be at high risk for lung cancer. It really drastically improves their outcomes and survival when we can identify these potential lung cancers early on before patients even have symptoms. Our thoracic program here at Mohawk Valley Health System really prides ourselves on high-quality, cutting-edge, state-of-the-art care.
For more information, visit mvhealthsystem.org.
Adirondack Home Furniture knows that when it comes to outdoor furniture, you want something that's comfortable, durable, and stylish. That's why Polywood is the perfect choice. Polywood furniture is made from high-quality materials that are weather-resistant and easy to clean. Plus, each piece is designed with comfort and style in mind, so you can enjoy your outdoor space like never before. Whether you're looking for classic Adirondack chairs, stylish dining sets and sofas, or a beautiful fire pit, Polywood has everything you need to create the perfect outdoor oasis. So why wait? Transform your outdoor space into a place of relaxation, fun, and style with Polywood furniture at Adirondack Home Furniture. Stop in and explore their large selection of Polywood pieces and take one home today. Adirondack Home Furniture does custom orders, delivery, and setup. Stop in today and explore the world of Polywood. Adirondack Home Furniture in the former Riverside Mall, North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Looking for the perfect ride this summer? Then stop in to Steed Pawnee Chevy in Herkimer with these unbeatable deals. Lease the all-new 2024 Trax LS, just $296 a month, 36 months with 10,000 miles per year. Want to reduce your carbon footprint? Drive the all-new electric 2024 Chevy Equinox EV for just $312 a month, or the new electric 2024 Chevy Blazer 2LT, just $328 a month, each for 24 months and 10,000 miles per year.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers for Trax and Blazer require current eligible lease in the household, and Equinox and Blazer require additional select model and household. See salesperson for details. $2,000 down payment plus all taxes, fees, and first payment are due on delivery. Must take delivery by 7/31/24.
Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steed Pawnee Chevrolet or online at SteedPawneeChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your 1904p $20 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay. Start with what do you? How about you? Good morning.
I like that snappy.
You like it?
Is that a
snappy
bumper?
music? Snappy music.
We got great bumpers here.
That's a good bumper.
Yeah.
Bill, I have to tell you.
What's wrong?
I find the studio to be completely inhospitable now.
Why is that?
Because one of the nice things about your studio used to be that you could get a nice cup of coffee and drink it. while things were.
Well,
going
hospitality moved to the hallway here.
I don't.
Didn't you
I
see
don't
that
know.
lovely
Isn't
shelf
this is a beautiful piece of Formica, and I'm sure it's easily cleanable. What?
It's not. It's actually ivory.
Ivory.
It's covered. It's covered ivory.
It's ivory.
It was a rare elephant from Africa.
Uh-huh.
That had this.
They only make one of them.
This is one tusk.
They call it the granite. This is one tusk. They call it the granite elephant, and
with a leathered finish.
Its tusks look like granite.
Well, I mean, can you put a request in? Because I think there's a lot of guests that have been complaining about it.
All right. So you want to be able to drink coffee inside
I think we should
here.
be able to drink coffee.
All right. Chris is in Cassville, ready to take advantage of Habaika's free money. Question of the day. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hi,
Good
Chris.
luck, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Morning, Bill. Morning, Joe.
You have a chance to win $100 here
Had
this
Joe
morning.
not been in studio, it probably would have been $300.
It probably would have. But
Sorry,
Joe's here.
Chris.
All right, here's your question. You have 7 seconds to answer. Today, by the way, is National Hot Dog Day. The hot dog, of course, was invented in Frankfurt, Germany. Now, in America, Oscar Mayer, a German immigrant, is known for hot dogs. But what was the first product Oscar Mayer produced? Ready, go.
Bologna.
We're going to go with bologna.
My bologna has a first name.
I would think bologna would have been a good one.
Well, isn't that the answer?
No, it's liverwurst.
Oh, God.
And also whitewurst or something like that.
Oh, God.
And bratwurst, all the worsts they used to.
They are the worst.
Yeah. But I thought the easiest one would be something that is one of my favorite products today is liverwurst. It
Really?
is. I love
Bill
liverwurst.
likes all things that are
that
usually
is
gross.
weird.
You do too, don't you, Chris?
Love it.
Love it.
Onions.
With onions and a little horseradish too. You put a little horseradish on there.
Do you fry the liverwurst, Bill?
I don't fry it. I have it. You just cut it up. Sometimes
I bet you like Limburger cheese too.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I'll mix in some pickle relish into it and kind of make a little spread into it. It's really good too. Yeah.
God.
All righty
Makes
then.
it so fun to be around him afterwards.
Chris, we're some say it causes cancer. I don't believe it. So we're going to give you the Food and Fun all-in-one Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card. Good at Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, Babes. You could use it at Babes, even on their brunch Saturdays and Sundays, or at the odds. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up, Chris. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Joe.
All right.
Thank you.
Stand by. Davey, he's yours. Here I want to bring in somebody we've not heard from. You know, I hate to lose listeners.
Mm-hmm.
But when people move away, oftentimes they're able to listen from here, using the app.
YouTube.
But you lose contact with them. Keith, the paper guy, is no longer delivering papers here in the area. He has moved to Oklahoma.
Really?
Good morning, Keith, the paper guy. Good morning.
Hey, good morning there, Bill.
We've not heard from you in quite some time.
Joe, yeah. I'm doing a lot better, though.
I know you weren't feeling well.
No. They had removed every piece of cancer from my body. So far, it's been 18 months without no remission. So I'm in remission as of right now.
That is awesome. Congratulations. Did you get to ring the bell at the hospital?
No. This was a different one. Maybe at the Children's Hospital, but not where I was.
Oh, okay. Well, they at Roswell they do it. Adults go up there and do it, and there's a piano player or a guitar player in the lobby every day you walk in. It's unbelievable. The last time I was there last week, the guy was an amazing guitarist. He just couldn't sing. Oh. So I almost volunteered to go up and help him just a little bit, but my wife would not let me.
Keith now is in Oklahoma, where tornadoes are very common.
Yeah.
But not here. We got hit pretty bad yesterday.
Rome got hit hard yesterday. Did you know that?
Yes, that's why I called because.
Okay.
All right. I've lived here since 2022, and we've had 3 in my area, and none of them look like what you guys went through.
Are you saying they're lesser than what we went through?
Yeah, here, yeah, they're a lot less than. I mean, they go through so fast that, and the area out here is so open. There's nothing like a big city. I mean, if you get into a big city, maybe there is, but right where I am, it's like a really open area.
Right,
so if a tornado goes through, there's so much open area that it just expands, and there's not a lot of damage.
That's crazy.
Unless it hits that certain area.
Unless it is a populated area, like hitting Rome. That was just incredible. So
yeah, but I have to tell my friends and family and people in Rome. First thing I happen to see with the pictures is that a lot of people just walking out in the streets, and I'm like looking at the power lines. I'm like, dude, don't you know that they can be charged?
Yep. That's what the sheriff was just saying. Yeah.
Right. And the debris is like crazy. So I'm like, I would be just, if I can't stay at my house or if I can't be where I want to be, I would go to a shelter, or I would go to a friend's place and stay until I can at least
until you know it's safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good advice, Keith. That really is.
Yep. And I really miss Joe Habaika's money. So if he ever wants to send me any,
all right. Yeah. I mean,
Talk to Davey.
He was a regular. He was a regular winner right there. So, all right, Keith. Good hearing from you, man. Stay
Glad
safe.
you're doing well.
Congratulations on your battle with cancer.
Thank you. And I will be stopping back out in about a week or so. Hopefully everything will be cleared up by then.
Okay. All right. We look forward to maybe
and
seeing
maybe I'll
you.
stop by.
Okay, cool. All right. Good stuff, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
You
right,
guys
have a
take
good
it
day.
easy.
All right. He loves Joe Habaika's money. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Joe, I do have to. I just do have to say that this we've seen. We can all argue over global warming and whatever is causing it. We can argue about that, but there's really no argument anymore. It is. Well, it's cyclical. It's been going on for many, many thousands of years. Okay, that's fine. But it is happening, and we are seeing the effects of it.
I think we are.
Yeah.
And it's a little warmer in the winter, which I like. And it's a little warmer in the summer.
It won't be long, and you won't be going to Florida because it'll be too hot there. You'll be staying here to play golf in the wintertime.
I don't think there's any such thing as too
hot. Yeah, you're like that.
I'm with you.
Mike says, why is Joe being such a cheapskate? Is he still paying off that Hamilton College student loan?
No, it was forgiven.
It was forgiven. That is so funny. Okay, let's talk about you. The city of Utica School District now has a new superintendent.
We do. Dr. Christopher Spence.
I would say that you'd want to, and I don't know this, but I'll ask you, is there anything you want to say about Kathy Davis before we talk about the new superintendent?
Well, she has done an amazing job. It's basically been a year, I think. It's like having a security blanket, honestly, especially for me.
She's like nationwide.
Really?
There's a security blanket they put on
we had
insurance company.
We were criticized because we had 53 meetings in the last year. 53 special and regular meetings. That doesn't include the...
Is that a lot of meetings?
Well, considering that the prior years it was 12.
Yeah.
Where is the criticism? You as school board members.
Well, there's some mentally ill people out there that think that having those meetings apparently.
I would think that the more meetings, the more transparency.
Well, again, I think part of the problem was that things were so deep undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't a lot of checks and balances in place. And in the past year, we've been discovering things. I mean, at one point it was like something needed to be applied for. We needed to have a special meeting because the time was coming up on us and we had to do it. there weren't a lot of protocols and procedures. There weren't checks and balances. So we spent a lot of time just chasing that stuff. And, you know, the latest one, and I can't get too deep into it, was that at one point we discovered that the health insurance premiums that were being paid by the district, or that were being supposed to be shared with employees contributing, were artificially suppressed. And then, of course, with the increase in premiums and, you know, the having to restore what the premiums were, how the contribution was supposed to be, that caused a problem. But, you know, there's notes right in there, and they were hidden somewhere. And so, you know, you're automatically assuming, because every business, you know, you know, whatever.
Well, you can't imagine that it would be done
any other way,
right?
But it just gets to the point where
it's almost like you have to look at the most mundane things and just check everything, because you never know where you're going to uncover a little corruption nugget. I
mean, hopefully we're coming, you know,
a sloppy move.
I'm pretty sure we're coming out the other end. But again, you know, there may be things that we discover, you know, as time goes on. And the other thing is, you know, we changed the external auditor, the internal auditors, the claims auditor. We changed all of that stuff, and a lot of these things started to come to light.
Yeah.
So I think what ends up happening is stuff gets baked in.
Yeah.
And you know, you're only as good as what the auditors are telling you.
Could you talk about you had a candidate who was running for school board the last time? I've heard this before too. In fact, I think he might have won. I think he's now on the board. But his whole thing was there needs to be more transparency. And you heard this from Howard Potter. He said there needs to be more transparency. We need to have a group. Parents need to be more involved. We need a parents group for the board that would be a liaison to the blah, 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 blah. Okay, what I say to that is, you want to get involved? There are so many existing organizations that you can get involved with. Number one, the PTA. You can become a part of that. Right. You can volunteer. You can call your kid's teacher and say, hey, how can I help this year? You could become so there are so many different options. And then you could show up to the board meeting.
Yeah, well, you know.
Is there need, I guess I'd ask you, is there need for another layer for better communication?
I will say that I was really pressing when I first got on the board to even get to a point where we were communicating.
Right, I remember.
And then we started to communicate, and I think we've done a heck of a lot better, and we will continue to do better. Now, our meetings aren't that fun to watch anymore because we put all the information out there, that and we have presentations so that parents can understand what's being done, why it's being done,
and taxpayers,
taxpayers.
Where money is being spent.
And I agree. And so, you know, I think anybody can sit there and pick specific instances where it could have been better, but I think we're working hard. We try not to make the same mistake twice. Nobody's going to be perfect. That's why in the old days they used to put erasers on pencils.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's making claims that we're perfect, but the reality is that what you're seeing now is a host of significant improvements, and we will continue to do so.
With communication, with transparency. Let me ask you, one of the complaints that Howard Potter has had is that you don't put in the YouTube live the public comments. Why don't you do that, and are you legally bound to do that?
Well, we're going to revisit our policies.
Okay. Do you think there might be a possibility that will happen?
It may. I don't I thought the purpose of coming was to communicate your thoughts to the board.
Right, to make it better,
Right.
Yeah.
If
sometimes it seems like people are grandstanding a bit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, I remember one time I'm sitting in a meeting. This was obviously in the prior administration, and all of a sudden some lady said that she wrote an email and it never was responded to. So we find out that the emails were going to some crazy email that had been set up and no one was checking it. So obviously that had to change. So, but people that ask for information about the day-to-day, we're not in a position to, like as a board member, I don't work on the day-to-day. If you're complaining about something, I'm more than happy to relay the information.
But a lot of these things you need to go to the you need
well,
to
there's
talk to
there's
the
a
teacher
protocol.
or to
There's
the,
a whole We
Yeah.
actually put out something that showed what you do if you have an
like a little
issue.
chart that shows you. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't mean to. We're almost out of time. We didn't talk about the new superintendent.
Well,
and
I'm going
I
to
wanna bring him in.
Why don't I bring
Yeah.
him in? It's
Let's do it.
Dr.
Awesome.
Christopher Spence. He's an educational scientist, super guy. Matter of fact, he's looking around the area over the next, I guess he's been looking.
My God. He what?
He's looking.
For a house? He's right here. Right in front of you. Mr. River Hills Properties.
I understand, but
he's here.
The problem is that I have to maintain that.
You got
a conflict of interest.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell are you waiting for, man?
I'll call him. When he's in, I'll talk to him.
It'll be a good house.
We're running out of time, though, but any progress on the school tax city issue?
I'm hopeful that they're gonna sign that agreement. Again, that's been being negotiated for, God, I want to say 6 or 7 or maybe 8 months.
And it may be the new superintendent that has to tackle that issue.
No,
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure
5.
we have it resolved. We've already passed it,
Okay.
so we believe they're going to pass it at the next thing. So.
All right, Joe. As always, we appreciate it. Thank you for your money.
You're welcome.
Got him.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A show of Republican unity at the convention. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis spoke out for him last night.
Life was more affordable when Donald Trump was president. Our border was safer under the Trump administration, and our country was respected.
Vivek Ramaswamy, also an ex-2024 Republican campaign rival turned Trump supporter.
We're not going to win this election just by criticizing the other side. We're going to win this by standing for our own vision.
Make America safe again was the theme last night.
My sister's death was preventable. The monster arrested for killing Rachel entered the U.S. unlawfully.
Michael Moran's sister was murdered last year in Maryland. Tonight, Senator J.D. Vance gets the spotlight, accepting the VP nomination. Vice President Harris says in a campaign ad,
Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country.
President Biden will address Latino voters in Las Vegas the day after telling the NAACP convention there that the Trump presidency was hell for black Americans. Some Democrats are still worried about the president's age and mental fitness.
To stop the Democratic mutiny, the DNC is going to try to install Biden as the nominee before their convention next month, virtually. Many Democratic lawmakers do not want that to happen, writing in a letter to the DNC chair, regardless of whether President Biden remains our nominee, we respectfully but emphatically request that you cancel any plans for an accelerated virtual roll call.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. A death row inmate is waking up this morning in Texas, but Ruben Gutierrez wasn't supposed to. The Supreme Court blocked his execution last night just minutes before he was lethally injected as Gutierrez appeals for new DNA testing. America's listening to Fox News.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, you've heard me say that cell phone service with Pure Talk is half the cost of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. $20 a month, you get unlimited talk and text, plenty of data, and you think, okay, Hannity, what's the catch? Well, there isn't one. Just ask the thousands of listeners who have made the switch of mine, and they love Pure Talk and their U.S. customer service, their great coverage on America's most dependable 5G network. Dial pound 250, say the keyword save now to start saving now on your cell phone plan.
Democrats have been very critical of the Supreme Court that has turned more conservative with 3 Trump-appointed justices. President Biden says he's considering proposals to reform the court with a new code of ethics and term limits on justices, which would require congressional approval. A new Fox News poll suggests that the president might get a lot of support for changes.
Only 38% of those responding in the poll approve of the Supreme Court's performance, with 60% disapproving. That is down 3 points from April of 2023 and a big drop from a record high of 58% in March of 2017. 56% disapproved of the court's July 1st ruling, stating that former presidents are immune for official actions taken while in office. 83% believe partisanship plays a factor in Supreme Court rulings, and 81% favor a mandatory retirement age for justices. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Of course, the Supreme Court's ruling 2 years ago allowing states to ban abortion continues to spur legal fights across the country.
Arkansans for Limited Government filed a lawsuit Tuesday asking the state Supreme Court to step in regarding their effort to gather enough signatures to put a ballot measure before voters this November. The group says it submitted enough signatures to meet the threshold, but the Arkansas Secretary of State rejected their effort for legal reasons. Following the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade, Arkansas now bans most abortions unless it's to protect the mother's life. Arkansans for Limited Government is pushing for a ballot measure calling for the prohibition of laws that limit abortion in the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. Tom Graham, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down the day after the Dow surged to a new record high. They're down more than 300 points for the NASDAQ. The American League won baseball's All-Star game, beating the NL 5-3, powered by Boston's Jarren Duran. His home run ended up the game winner, and he ended up the All-Star game MVP. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. We are at 73 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The cleanup continues following the devastation in the city of Rome and beyond after a line of severe storms ripped through central New York. Rome saw severe damage, including trees that hit homes and roofs that were ripped off of churches and other businesses, windows blown out of businesses as well. One person was also killed when thunderstorms rolled through Canastota in Madison County. There are also residents in the area who lost power due to the storms and are still waiting for their service to be restored. Ilion also experiencing severe damage for 2 days in a row. Police have identified the woman who was found murdered in Oswego over the weekend. On Saturday, officers were called to a home on West Schuyler Street after getting a report of a person who needed medical attention. When first responders arrived at the scene, they pronounced 38-year-old Rachel Allen deceased. An autopsy revealed she died of blunt force trauma, and 35-year-old Ricky Colon is facing murder and other charges. He remains in the Oswego County Jail without bail. Herkimer police are asking the public for help to locate a missing woman who has not been in contact with family for several weeks. The family of Brianna Morehouse say they are concerned for her safety. She's described as having light brown hair and blue eyes. Anyone with information about her whereabouts or have recently seen Brianna are asked to call Herkimer police at 315-866-4330. You can see a photo of Brianna at WIBX950.com. Shannon Forest Water Safari Resort in Old Forge looking for help. They're looking to add employees to work the rest of the summer season. There are a variety of positions that need to be filled, including lifeguards, water ride operators, security, and food service. A $200 bonus is being offered to any lifeguard who is hired, trained, and remains on the job until the season ends. For more information, head to watersafari.com. And country singer Ingrid Andress is getting a lot of flack for her performance of the national anthem Monday night in Arlington, Texas. The off-key performance was ahead of the 2024 Home Run Derby during MLB All-Star Week at Globe Life Field. Andress quickly started trending on social media, with many people calling it the worst national anthem performance in American history. Some folks even said it was worse than Roseanne Barr's infamous 1990s singing at the San Diego Padres-Cincinnati Reds game. Andress said on social media Tuesday that she was drunk and will be checking herself into a rehab facility. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for Wednesday. Scattered thunderstorms, nothing like yesterday. Maybe in the morning, widespread in the afternoon. It will be somewhat cooler with a high of 82. Tonight, rain showers early, then clearing later on at night at a high of 62. And on Thursday, partly cloudy and cooler, high 78. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 72 degrees under partly cloudy skies. It's coming up on 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Well, the MLB All-Star Game happened yesterday, and it saw the American League defeat the National League by a score of 5-3. That came after a Jarren Duran two-run home run in the bottom of the fifth. Athletics right-hander Mason Miller was credited with the win, and Guardians closer Emmanuel Clace earned the save after each pitched a scoreless inning of relief. Reds righty Hunter Green was tagged with the loss after allowing 2 runs on 2 hits. Dodgers designated hitter Shohei Ohtani launched a 3-run shot for the National League. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred was present to answer questions at the All-Star Game. Manfred expressed concern for player safety as it relates to gambling, saying players are receiving threats. He mentioned that players have told him in the last month that they are concerned, but would not go into specific details. In addition, MLB is hoping to test robot umpires as part of a challenge system during spring training next year, and can make an automated ball strike component possible as early as 2026. Fans of the Syracuse University football team can now buy seats to see their team in action. Single game tickets are available for the season's contests at the JMA Wireless Dome. SU's home opener is scheduled for August 31st against Ohio and will feature the debut of brand new head coach Fran Brown. The Orange are also set to host Miami, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. Tickets can be purchased online at Cuse.com or through Ticketmaster.
All right, Davey, what do you think of Syracuse?
From what I read, I purchased a college football preview book over the weekend.
Okay.
They're predicting Syracuse to have a 7-win season.
Only 7 wins? I think that's low.
And you have an opportunity tomorrow to meet Fran Brown, Adrian Autry, and LeJack, the women's basketball coach. They're having a special thing over at the Turning Stone at the New York.
They are. This is a whole new thing that they're doing.
Yeah, I signed up for it.
Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, I figured you'd be there. Listen, can I talk a little bit about this Ingrid Andress?
Yes.
Andress. She's the one that did the national anthem, and you're right. She put out a statement saying, "I'm sorry, I was drunk." And she was. Her version of the national anthem was horrific. But I thought I would just, make her feel a little better to remind her, you're not the only one.
Was Carl Lewis's better than hers?
I have a list of some of the worst. And believe me, hers is now a part of that list. Hers was very, very bad. But I'm going to play for you Roseanne Barr, Aaron Lewis of Stained, skipped lyrics all over the place. Carl Lewis couldn't hit the high notes. Fergie tried to go jazzy with it. That, debatably, I didn't think it was good. And I Love How You Love Me. Do you remember the Polish Prince, Bobby Vinton?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Vinton did the national anthem and could not catch up with the organ. So was speeding through. It was just terrible. These are all in order. Check out these versions of the national anthem.
I'll say, can you sing for the time?
You know that's Roseanne.
What so proudly we hailed, we're so gallantly streaming.
And the Rockets.
Carl Lewis.
Singing it, gave proof through the night. I'll make up for it now.
Oh, gee.
This is Fergie.
Still there.
Oh, my God.
That stars spangled banner.
Bobby Vinton.
Yet wave o'er land.
Just making crap up.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Back then, there were no monitors or earbuds to hear the organ.
Polish and live in Pittsburgh. You can do anything you want with the words.
That is great.
Oh, boy.
Well,
That was brutal.
Right. It's not
That was
the,
brutal.
Do you
That
remember?
was Jack Buck at the end there.
Yeah, I love Jack Buck.
I still think that hers may have been the worst.
Do you?
Because it included, now some of those that you played included messing up the words, but maybe had a decent voice. Some were just bad singers.
Yeah.
She had a little bit of combination of all the bad.
You mean Fergie?
Ingrid.
Ingrid, yeah. She was bombed.
Screwing words up.
She was drunk. Yeah, she was drunk. Okay, do we have... Are we getting an update from National Grid on power outages? And that's happening right now?
Yeah, he's on 2.
He's on 2. Okay. Is it Jared? Okay, perfect. Stand by, Senator Griffo. I'm going to get right to you. I want to go to Jared from National Grid. Good morning.
Morning, Keeler.
Appreciate your time here. Wow, This is so unprecedented.
Absolutely. There's, the damage, the photos that we've seen coming through, the devastation is just, it's heartbreaking.
So where are we? How many people are without power right now?
Mm-hmm. So in the Mohawk Valley, National Grid has nearly 26,000 customers without power.
Wow.
21,000 of which are in the general Rome area.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's that's our focus of concern it's our priority right now is getting those customers restored.
Okay. I'm assuming based on the damage that could take a little while.
We are still in the assessing damage stage of things. I think the damage has been so widespread and so severe that we have damage assessment crews that are working through each outage to determine exactly what the level of damage is and then how we can get the equipment out and what equipment is necessary to make those repairs. So in a lot of instances where we can do repairs, we're doing them as quickly and as safely as possible. But given the severity of the damage in the city of Rome, that's kind of where we are.
So, Jared, I want to ask you, speaking with Jared from National Grid, I want to ask, have there been conversations about the very unpredictable and abnormal weather that we are now experiencing, that it seems to be becoming our new normal?
We know that weather systems are becoming more extreme and more frequent. In the past, we've talked about it as, from my perspective, we've talked about it during the winter, especially this past winter where we didn't have as much snow and ice, but we had more severe wind.
Yeah.
We're now seeing this as really the first summer where we've seen these outcroppings of tornadoes and severe thunderstorms that are ripping through with very little notice. We know that there's going to be severe weather on a day, but we don't know that we didn't anticipate tornadoes springing up everywhere from Cortland to Sackett's Harbor to Rome, New York yesterday.
I think we hit a record the other day, the National Weather Service did, for the number of simultaneous tornado warnings. And here we are the next day, we got pounded. Andrew.
Jared, as far as gas outages, we had a caller mention that it's, extremely likely with something like this that the electrical power goes out. But talk about the gas outages and some dangers that could be associated with that may be unknown to some people.
Absolutely. We've had some situations in Rome where there's been some structures that are severely damaged and where gas odors have been detected. So we've had to go in and turn off gas meters, as well as, knowing that the electricity's out for a couple of reasons. One, we need to make sure that building is safe for whatever repairs have to be made. Two, can't have a situation where a gas line is going to break in a building. So we want to turn those off. And three, if there is a gas leak caused by structure damage and the power goes back on, that's enough of a spark where it could cause a catastrophic situation in that building. So we have had, in some instances, to turn off gas in structures and in some residences in the Rome area. That has been a concern of ours, and our gas operations crew is out there as well as our electric operations crews.
I will say a couple things. We don't often think, you sit there and you wait for your power to come back on. We don't think about the number of people there are out there working on those problems. And then in a crisis like this, it's all hands on deck. So I can't imagine what it's like for your employees. And the other day we talked about getting you on the air. I didn't expect it to be this way.
Right. And to your point, we're bringing crews in. We have crews on the way from Nova Scotia and New Brunswick to support us.
Wow.
Crews coming in from Mississippi. We have 800 crews that are dispatched in our central region. We're tidying up what's left up in the central New York area from yesterday's storm and the Syracuse area, and we're moving east. We have crews from the northern area moving south. We have crews from the Buffalo area that are moving east to Rome. So our hope is to have anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 staffers on the ground doing restoration by the end of the afternoon. So This is really a commitment. National Grid. I know a lot of people are going to be frustrated they don't have power, but this is, as you said earlier, this is unprecedented, and we're trying to get as many resources there as possible to restore.
All right, Jared. Maybe we'll check in again tomorrow and get an update. We appreciate greatly you reaching out. Thank you.
Happily, thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Jared from National Grid. Wow. Senator Joe Griffo is on the line right now. What of course, Joe is from Rome, lives in Rome. You're not the youngest man in the world, Joe. Oh, my God.
The most vibrant, probably. But in your years, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, this is widespread and significant damage, which I've never seen anything like this. I'm actually in Canastota with the mayor of Canastota right now. They had a fatality here, unfortunately, last night, and there's some damage here. But the damage in Rome was extremely widespread from the southern part of the city, the center core of the city, some of the eastern zones of the city. Just a very weird path and trajectory that it's going to be interesting to see what the National Weather Service says, because of the extent of the damage is just amazing right now. And some major iconic structures, churches, the mural, the B-52 that was actually moved. I mean, these are just to show you the intensity and the magnitude of this storm. And I was pleased to hear National Grid when they said that they are working to restore the power, but I think we've got to be a little more aggressive there. And I'm hoping they're going to encourage mutual aid, because coming in and starting this afternoon, bringing crews from the west, the south within their own organization is fine, but we need to make sure that they call upon other crews that can be assisting. He said it's unprecedented. It's truly not unprecedented, because the damage, when storms of these significance happen, we've had things that have happened downstate and everything. We've got to be prepared to address them and respond quickly. And so I'm going to encourage and hope to continue to press that not only do they take it within their own organization, but they're calling external resources and other groups to come and help them. The governor will be here this morning, and that's some of the conversations that we'll be having, too, with other additional resources or assets that can be brought, should be brought here. There's been tremendous cooperation. Credit to the county executive, Vicente, Mayor Lanigan, the crew that was assembled at the command center last night, from public safety to public works, utilities, everybody working together and making an extraordinary effort to try to deal with this.
Yeah. The unprecedented part is we're starting to face the reality that this is becoming our new normal here.
Well, you see there's storms, and we're seeing significant storms taking place. And that's my point, is that we're seeing them, so we have to be adequately prepared. And I know the state has done that with just the way they allocate some of the resources, whether it's winter or storms like this in the summer that you're experiencing. And assets are put in different regions and how they're applied and directed accordingly. So that's where I'm talking about it. It's unprecedented, but yet it isn't, in the sense that now we know we have to be better prepared and able to respond quickly. Relative to what has happened is surreal. I mean, if you saw the devastation and destruction last night as we surveyed the area, the county executive, the mayor, and I, it was is just devastating in so many different ways. From the toll that it took, the emotional toll, the economic toll. They're just the damage is significant and widespread.
It is. I mean, just the St. Mary's Church, which is not an active church. The Presbyterian Church actually got even more damage. Father Sean O'Brien had said that he had reached out to them and offered his facility for them to use for services this Sunday, because their church has been basically destroyed or is unusable at this point. It is just, it is surreal. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and that's where the community has come together. We have an amazing community. You're seeing everybody willing to support and to assist in any way that they can. An illustration is what Father Sean has done by reaching out to the Presbyterian Church pastor. So the best thing, though, is to work through the organization. I think the county has established this command center, and everybody working in coordinating the effort is the best way now to determine if there's a need. That need will be identified, and then people can be directed on how they can be most helpful, because I think that has the greatest effect and impact ultimately in order to undertake this cleanup. And the most important thing, at least in the Mohawk Valley and the Oneida County area, was no fatalities. Thank God.
Fatalities.
You know, and here in Madison County, there was just one listed, and our condolences to that family as a result of what happened.
Okay, Joe, I know you're busy in the middle of things there. We appreciate the time. We'll check in more tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks for
Thank you.
your help.
Thanks, Senator Joe Griffo. Let me go to. I got to say, yesterday when that wind was at its worst, we're in New Hartford, so front of the house faces the west, so that's where that was coming from. I felt like when Collis will come in and they do this test on your system to see where you're losing air.
Yeah, right.
And they'll hook up and push air through your vents and that sort of thing. And it's all of a sudden air is like blowing through places you didn't know that existed. I will tell you, number one, the New York sash windows, airtight.
Yeah,
but I have
no air through there.
I have a door that's on the front of the house. I couldn't believe the wind that was blowing through that door. Never, not in the wintertime, not ever before since we've lived there, have I heard a whistling sound coming through the closed door. And we didn't get it as badly, and not even close as to what Rome had received. So it just, it's crazy.
Yeah, it shows the wind. Even in areas that weren't hit as hard as Rome, you had severe wind, people having to pull over their vehicles, and a lot of cleanup, too, as far as yards and things.
There are photos up on our website. In one, a photo gallery showing the devastation in Rome. Two different sets of galleries there. One with photos on the ground, and the first one with photos from Cap Media, Dave and Dana Olney. In this case, they're all drone photos. You're looking way up top at the St. Mary's Church and Erie Boulevard and that area. It's just unbelievable. And also, I mentioned to you the guy I mentioned earlier, the guy on Facebook who posted
Kyle Butts.
Kyle Butts. Just search for him on Facebook, and
he drove right through the heart of the storm.
He was driving through it when it hit, and you can see it's just spectacular to look at his footage as he's driving, and you're seeing signs and trees and branches and debris just blowing right across his windshield. Something like you'd see out in the Midwest. Unbelievable. On the line right now is Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're trying to come up with different adjectives. Devastation, unprecedented, no matter what you call it. This is a day we're going to remember. There's no doubt about it.
I can say horrific. It just, last night I was in Rome, and I have to thank our first responders as they were working so diligently to ensure the safety of everyone. And as Joe had stated, the command center was intact and working very hard to move forward as quickly as possible. National Grid has stated the same. But I think I just want to clearly emphasize the importance of staying off the roads. We are in a state of emergency, and DPW, first responders, have to continue the work. And I realize that, as you stated, Dave and Dana have provided many photos, but they've done it, I think, to ensure that people can see the devastation, but they don't have to go firsthand.
Well, that is part of it, and the county executive,
of drone technology,
the sheriff,
nowadays.
The sheriff said the same thing. It's like, don't. I think his words were, "You don't need to be nosy. You can find plenty of photos on social media and through websites like ours at WIBX950.com." There are plenty of others out there where you'll see what's going on without having to get out and get in the way of first responders as they're trying to clean things up. The governor coming to town today, is that what we're hearing?
Yes, she will be in Rome this morning. I'm not sure where else she will be traveling, but again, to reemphasize to her, along with my colleague, is the importance of the resources that our community need at this point. And I will be a strong advocate, as I was last night, identifying the importance of those needs. But I thank both of you because, again, the information that you can provide can ensure that folks understand what is happening and how devastating it is to remain out of those areas till the first responders have completed the work that is necessary.
All right, Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw, thank you as always. We appreciate it, and I'm sure you'll be expressing the need for help from the state when you meet with the governor later on this morning.
Thank you again to both of you. Take
Thanks
care.
so much.
Thank you, Assemblywoman.
Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshawn. Wow. I want to tell you the official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Try the matcha green tea. It is one of like 14 or more lattes that are available out there from Daylight Donuts. Coffee, espresso, iced coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and bagels. Their donuts are made in-house every single morning. And the drive-thru is in and out, and you're on your way. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And if it's happening, there's a good chance it's happening in Herkimer County. Whether you're going to Enchanted Forest, anticipating the Herkimer County Fair that is coming up, you want to do some tours down on a boat down the Erie Canal, you can do so from Waterfront Grill and Gems along the Mohawk. Herkimer Diamonds, it's from food festivals to farmers markets. It's all going on in Herkimer County. And you can go to the Herkimer County Development Facebook page, and if you have an event that's coming up in Herkimer County, post it there. They'll help you promote it. It is where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's happening in Herkimer County.
Zero Foxtrot isn't just a brand, it's a way of life. Founded and operated by veterans, Zero Foxtrot's unique apparel and gear echoes the grit of the warrior culture. Zero Foxtrot dedicates itself to producing content, honoring the sacrifices of forgotten heroes of the past, and connecting history to the present. Embark on a journey with Zero Foxtrot today at zerofoxtrot.com. It's not merely our products, it's about the ethos that we embody. Rugged, resilient, and timeless.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. Now through September 2nd, get up to $130 back on a Firestone Visa prepaid card when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Or buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get up to $140 back on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile. To learn more and to schedule an appointment, visit tallmanstire.com.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Boot Camp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of Rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three. Basic estate planning is comprised of the 3 main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the 3 the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated. I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed? Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Hey Utica, it is time for the rodeo. August 2nd and 3rd, the rodeo returns to Utica. 2 nights of the best bull riders in the Northeast competing for cash prizes. Join us before the event for live music in the Subaru Village and then see the bulls, broncs, and so much more. The Utica Stampede, Rodeo, and Expo, presented by Don's Ford, Clinton Tractor, Subaru, and best enjoyed with Coors Banquet, the official beer of the rodeo. Tickets available now at uticarodeo.com.
Mattress Express's brand name low price guarantee is what you need. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days for less, bring it to our attention and we simply refund the difference. That is peace of mind at Mattress Express.
At Destination Kia of Utica, we're making a big splash with electric vehicles.
Right now, with government incentives, lease a new 2024 Kia Niro Wind all electric for just $298 a month for 36 months.
And that's with 0 down, 0 due at inception, even sales tax included.
Wow! A $42,000 vehicle for no money down and $298 per month.
And it's just one of the 3 types of EV models available at Destination Kia of Utica.
Make that short drive and choose from 400 new Kias in one location.
Now that's kooky. So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Niro EV Win. SDK number 24I0626. MSRP $42,450. 36 months, 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due at inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Includes NYS Drive Clean rebate. Offer expires 7/31/2024.
Wow. Biden's at it again.
Inflation, rising costs for everything. What now?
Try big government control of our Medicare drug benefit.
The more I hear, the more it seems we can't afford Biden's Medicare agenda.
They're right. And it's because seniors are already feeling the pain of Biden's drug coverage changes, with almost 2 million forced from their plans and spiked premiums for nearly 5 million more. Now, Congress wants to expand the Biden Medicare agenda even more. But studies show Biden's plan will restrict access, shrink coverage, and limit availability of needed drugs for all seniors. Thankfully, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is a champion for Medicare drug coverage. Call her at 202-224-3121. Urge her to stop Biden's radical Medicare changes by opposing H.R. 4895 now. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
Summer congestion got you down. Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can ruin your whole day. You feel tired and run down, like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, dust, and mucus without drugs. In just 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Get Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, Sam's Club, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe better, fast.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
This is Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, you can go to our website and check out all the coverage, all the stories, and, of course, just some of the aerial photos of Rome that were taken by Cap Media. Holy, it's just
devastational.
You really run out of adjectives to describe it. It really is something that is becoming somewhat of a new normal for us. Rome was hit tremendously hard. There is significant damage. There's a state of emergency, so they're asking people stay clear while things get cleaned up. And it's also a dangerous area right now, so beware there. Several, I think 21,000 people without power right now, according to National Grid, 26,000 in the county. And on the line right now is the mayor of Rome, Mayor Jeff Lanigan. Good morning, Mayor. Boy, we are so sorry to see what you guys are going through in Rome. This is just horrific.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, it's definitely, I could say it's something I've never seen in my lifetime. So,
yeah, we see growing up and through the years, we see every once in a while there's a tornado. It's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Did you see a tornado hit somewhere in a rural area or something? We've had more tornado warnings in the last week than I believe is breaking records according to the National Weather Service. But to see it plow through a city the way it did in Rome yesterday is just, I just can't imagine. I'm assuming for you, this, as being a new mayor in Rome, this has to be the last thing you ever thought you'd be faced with, and probably your police background plays a big role here in standing up and trying to assist people going forward.
Absolutely. It definitely wasn't something that I saw in the playbook when I took office in January, a tornado in central New York. But walking through last night, we did a walkthrough of all the devastation, and it really feels like you're somewhere out in the Midwest. And, the things you see in movies and on national television, not something locally that we're used to. But, we have an incredible staff here in Rome, and the partnerships with the county, state, federal has been incredible. We've been able to flood our city here with every single resource possible. We have more headed in today, and I can assure you that everybody is right on top of this and doing an incredible job to try to bring us back to the point we can start the rebuild.
Yeah. So, from what we understand, the governor will be in town, be in the city today?
Yes, she should be here at some point today. I know she's en route.
I was wondering, I was reading in the Sentinel this morning that you were describing what it was like being in City Hall when this tornado was blowing through. I believe you said that it felt like the windows were going to blow out, and I can't imagine a building the size of City Hall in Rome where everybody's got to go to the basement, but that's what it was like, right?
Yes, and it actually, to the point that the wind was blowing so hard, there was actually water coming through the seams of the windows.
Wow.
And right to that point. And, I luckily had my son with me. I grabbed him from camp a little bit early because I knew the storm was coming. So I scooped him up, and we ran to the basement, and all the employees, we get called for all of them to get to the basement. And, you're talking City Hall's 3 floors. So some people are running from the 3rd floor all the way down. And
wow.
It was definitely an experience.
Now, Mayor, you've made so much progress since you took office, have already accomplished a great deal in a short amount of time. I mean, obviously this is a setback, but, you just had the progress of the relighting of the sign and all that. I mean, how do you go from here, and what are the plans? Have you heard from the governor or talked to her about some funding, at least in the interim, as far as that goes, to start to come back from all this?
Absolutely. Rome is resilient. I mean, everybody knows that Griffo left back in the 1990s, and look what that's turned into up there now. Rome has always been this way. We're not going to get knocked down and not come back up fighting. So that doesn't concern me one bit. I know this community is going to get together and do everything they can to make this happen. As far as the governor with funding, we're doing everything we can to make sure that we dot all our T's and cross all our I's, and make sure that we can get as much of the funding as possible to help with this rebuild. So I know that with speaking with her last night, they're fully on board to assist and cooperate in any way possible. So,
it's events like these that bring people together, and unlikely people together, which if you're looking for some sort of a silver lining, I guess that could be it. One story I think that is very interesting, Father Sean O'Brien, who I spoke with last night, said that he has reached out to the Presbyterian Church. St. Mary's is getting a lot of attention. That church has not been open for some time, but Presbyterian is open, and that is unusable now. He is saying that they're opening their Catholic doors to the Presbyterians. This is a great example of Rome tough, I would assume.
Absolutely. You're going to see more and more of that. That's just how Rome is. Whenever there's as minor as the tragedy might be, you see Rome come together, and no matter if you're friends or foes, you're going to be there to help that person. And it's just the way we've always been, and it's why we've been able to prosper in this community. And I know with something as catastrophic as this is, it's only going to magnify that.
Yeah. All right, Mayor, I know you're busy. Good luck with the governor today. Get as much money as you can.
Yeah, while she's here. Yeah.
We're going to try.
All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Good luck today. Mayor Lanigan in the city of Rome. Let me go to Ryan Nobles from NBC. Ryan, it's not often you've worked here, you've lived here your whole life. This is crazy to be dealing with this type of weather, not just over the last 24 hours, but really over the last week. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I texted you this morning to see if you even needed me to call in because I knew you guys were dealing with so much. But seeing the pictures that just started coming out on social media almost immediately after the storm came through, it's reminded me of all the different tornadoes and major weather events that I've had to cover throughout the country. I remember being at a tornado in Hood, Texas, and the path of destruction was just remarkable. And it reminded me so much of what I saw in Rome, based just on the pictures because I'm so familiar with that community. And it seems, and you guys probably have a better idea of this, that, and tornadoes are just so indiscriminate, right? Like a house can get completely knocked over and ripped apart. And feet away, there's no damage whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a ball sitting on the front lawn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was checking in with some people yesterday, friends from Rome, to make sure everybody was okay, and that's how they described it. So, the thing about a tornado is it's completely unpredictable. You have an idea when it's coming, and I know my former colleagues at WKTV did a good job of telling everybody to get to safety as soon as possible because you just don't mess around with it.
Yeah.
Once it hits, it comes quick, and you don't know where it's going to hit and how much the damage can be. So I'm just thinking of everybody there this morning.
Well, this has been a hell of a news week. You have all of what's going on with President Biden and the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. Of course, the attempted assassination, the Republican convention. Wow. It's just incredible.
It's interesting, Bill. On Saturday night, my wife and I took the family to church, and I knew that the Democrats were having a call with President Biden to talk about his situation and their concerns about him at the top of the ticket. And I was actually getting a text message from a member of Congress while I was in church who basically told me that the call had gone really badly. And I was going to connect with this member of Congress after I left Mass. And I called the member, and we have a lengthy conversation, and they detailed for me just how difficult this call was and how there was going to be renewed concerns about President Biden at the top of the ticket. I get off the phone with them, and I write up a note that I'm going to send into the network and thinking I've got this big scoop.
Yeah.
And then before I could even hit send on the email, I'm getting text messages from my colleagues talking about the situation happening with former President Trump. And I knew that the news cycle had shifted pretty dramatically in a pretty quick way. I mean, you saw those pictures. And at that point, we didn't know just how serious it was going to be and what the former president's condition was. But I think that this has upended the presidential race in a major way. I think it's going to change the conversation dramatically about President Biden's role at the top of the ticket. And, I'm not going overboard in the description of the Republican Party being unified because I think the Republican Party had essentially fallen in line with Donald Trump as their nominee. But what it's done is it's perhaps injected a degree of energy and enthusiasm into the Republican Party beyond just the base that may not have been there before. And the question is, can they ride that momentum, especially given how wounded the Democrats are right now?
Well, the reality is this is July. So there is a long time. I mean, just look at how the news cycle has completely been, it's almost like rapid waves coming in. Every time you turn around, you think you know where the basically the news cycle is going, and all of a sudden the debate happens, and everybody's talking about Biden's poor performance, and now him possibly being removed, and Trump is quiet at that point. Then this is just it's almost moving so quickly you can't keep up.
Well, to give you an idea of just how chaotic this news cycle is, Bill, yesterday in a federal courtroom in New York City, a sitting United States senator was just convicted of 16 federal bribery and corruption charges, is on the verge of going to prison for decades, and could be the first senator to be expelled from the United States Senate civil war. And that wasn't even our top story.
I know.
Show. I wasn't on the show until 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And that Menendez trial, the trial of Bob Menendez, has hardly gotten any attention at all because of how intense this news cycle is. And you're absolutely right. The way this race could change in the next couple of weeks, we haven't even had a Democratic convention yet. In the next couple of months, there is the potential of another debate. President Biden said that he would still debate again in September. That could change things dramatically. And I still do think that there is a lot of hand-wringing around Biden as the nominee. And if Democrats were to do something as remarkable and as stunning as replacing him at the top of the ticket at this stage of the game, that would just be another unbelievable contribution
another
to this
twist.
news cycle.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. Right now, if I'm a Republican, I'm feeling very comfortable about this fall election. This is the best possible position they could find themselves in, but a lot can change between now and November. And the question is, will the Democrats find a way out of this? They haven't proven the ability to do so yet.
And then finally, I felt like Biden's conversation with Lester Holt Monday was by no means any help for his cause.
I think that's absolutely right, and I say that not from my own personal opinion, but from the reception that I've gotten from other Democrats that watched it. I don't think they felt any comfortable. I interviewed one congressman who said that he's in a posture right now where every single time President Biden does something publicly, he has to bite his nails because he's worried about how it's going to turn out. I don't know how sustainable that is through the beginning of November, that every single time he speaks, it's going to be under this hyper focus. I thought the most interesting thing, though, about that interview with Lester Holt was how combative he was, how defensive he was. He seemed to not understand the gravity of the situation and how much the American public is concerned about his faculties and his ability to do the job. And I don't think that's what Americans want to hear from him right now. I think a lot of people have real concerns about his ability to do the job, and for him just to say, I don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy. I don't think that solves the problem, and I don't know how Democrats get out from under that.
I'm sitting there watching it with my wife, and that is a perfect example of gaslighting. So if you wonder what gaslighting is, you hear this being thrown around, maybe even thrown at you a few times. Let me tell you, that's gaslighting. Listen, man, where have you been? I've been doing all of this stuff, and the news isn't covering it. That is a perfect example of gaslighting, and I don't think that the people who support currently Joe Biden are people who would like something like that.
Listen, Bill, your listeners have made me very aware of my critiques of the way Republicans have handled Donald Trump since 2015, how they've tried to talk back some of his most controversial statements and tried to explain it away, how they've peddled in conspiracy theories and have been less than honest about the state of play. I think the Democrats are in a situation right now where they need to do their own version of soul searching.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that the Democratic reaction to this situation with President Biden, and might I add, the situation with President Trump over the weekend, is starting to reveal kind of the fault lines in our political ecosystem right now. And we talk about it a lot more on the Republican side about how people only want to hear what they want to hear, and they're not open to being challenged specifically on their views. Well, the Democrats are facing their own reckoning with this.
Yep.
And, they can wish away the problems. They can say that the media is creating it. Listen, when I report on President Biden and the concerns about President Biden, this isn't my own personal opinion. These are Democrats that I'm talking to on a daily basis who tell me that they're worried about him at the top of the ticket. And it's not just Democrats, it's also just normal, average, everyday voters who are going to decide this election. So you can wish that away if you want. You can act like it's not that big of a deal, but you got to deal with the reality. And then on the other side of it, Bill, there's been an incredible amount of conspiratorial accusations and questions about what happened at that assassination attempt over the weekend that are being peddled by people on the left. The kind of conspiracy theories that if Republicans and Republicans have suggested, about January 6th and other things that we have pointed out and said is wrong and dangerous. That same level of conspiratorial thinking is happening on the left right now. So this is, I think, a reckoning for Democrats. They need to take a look at what the situation is.
A little look in the mirror. Yeah.
Right.
Ryan, good luck today. You got a lot to deal with. We appreciate it, and we'll speak again next week. Thank you.
And we're praying for everybody in Rome and wish them the very best.
All right. Thanks so much, Ryan. We'll have more on Rome as the day goes on. News is coming right up. Stand by at WIBX.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. Now through September 2nd, get up to $130 back on a Firestone Visa prepaid card when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Or buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get up to $140 back on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile. To learn more and to schedule an appointment, visit Tallman'sTire.com.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Boot Camp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of Rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
The State Fair will be here before you know it. Can you believe it? Don't ever buy a mattress at the State Fair. Get your quote at the State Fair. Bring it to Mattress Express. We'll meet or beat the price on the same or a comparable mattress. You'll get it delivered quick, and you'll get the local service when you need it.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Uniting around former President Trump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Let's heed the call of our party's nominee to fight for these United States.
Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, who both ran against the former president, backed him at the convention last night.
You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him.
Fighting crime, stopping illegal immigration, a focus last night. The theme, Make America Safe Again.
Now, we also heard from everyday Americans last night. That includes the half-sister of Rachel Morin. She's the Maryland mom who was raped and murdered by an illegal alien.
Fox's Bill Maloogian at the convention in Milwaukee.
The theme today is Make America Strong Again. We once again expect to hear from those everyday Americans. One speaker expected tonight is a Jewish alum of Harvard University who is suing the school for discrimination as a result of those anti-Israel protests.
Also tonight, Senator